Hi guys, it's Adam. One sec. I literally, what I did, I was coming up the stairs and I must have dropped a Lego base plate and it was meant to be in one of those parcels, so it was lucky I saw it on the stairs before I went out and posted that off without it in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand up today and I'm going to do a bit of work because I've got so much to do today that I just need to like work constantly. I think lunch is going to be like a 10-minute thing. I'm just going to do a bit of a segment for my vlog. There we go. So we are live on YouTube for Thursday Talks. Yeah. There we go. Right, that's that done. Let's have a look. Right, we've got one viewer. I'm just going to jump into the chat. If it's coming up. No one in the chat yet. Could anyone say, oh yeah, someone is. Tom is everything all right? Yeah. I've not done a live stream in a while, so I've got to make sure everything's running all right. Hi guys, so yeah, I'm just going to do a bit of work. First I'll show you this thing I sniped that I made a real mistake on. Well, yeah, sort of a mistake. So you can see that there, it's got all this like, basically it's got all like cracking on the plastic and stuff. Don't know where you can see it. And then on the back, it's got some weird, it's like condensation or water damage or something on the back. So that is really annoying. I paid like 18 quid for that and I was going to get about 30, I think, no, not 30, like 40 or something on Amazon. Maybe even a little bit more than that. I can't quite remember actually, but yeah, that's just gonna have to go on eBay. So I'll probably make my money back on it. But that's the reality with some things when you're a reseller. You make these fails, and that's reality. But loads of other things more than make up for it. So yeah. Anyway, so that was that. I'm just sorting some stuff for doing my Amazon shipment. I've got a load of PS3 games that I've tested there, so they're waiting to go on. I've got this box PS2 that I need to test today. So what I'm doing is first just getting everything out onto the bed, and then I can see where I am, and you know I know where I am more clearly then. So there's that PSP that needs to go in, the blue one, and that's all been tested. So that literally just needs prepping now. I've got some PS1 games there that all need testing and then they can go in. Don't know how well that's coming out. There we go. Right, I'm just going to go back into the chat. Who's that? Ali says, hey, do you resell most of your products on Amazon? At the moment, it's very nearly 50-50, like 50% Amazon, 50% eBay. So yeah, I mean, I think obviously I've got a few more listings on eBay, but to be fair, the last couple of weeks, Amazon has been doing a lot better than eBay for me. So yeah, I mean, I still love eBay, and there's big plans I want to do with eBay, but yeah, it's not been performing great recently. So in the new year, I'm going to really hit eBay hard as well as Amazon. And get it to where I want it to be, and get it in a position where I feel comfortable with it. Because at the moment I've got a lot of stuff on that just is sat there. It's either dead stock or it's just really low value. It just needs rebundling up. It needs new photographs. It needs new descriptions. It needs bundling up with something else. It just needs rejigging. So I'm going to do that in the new year. Hi, Steve. I'm just doing a little bit of work and sort of just chatting with you guys, so feel free to ask any questions in the chat. I've got some PS2 games as well that are going in. I've got all them there. I've got a couple more there. Oh, I've got another PS1 game. I'm trying to tot up how many items I've got for this shipment. I've already entered in 26, and then I've got another 8 PS2, so that's 34. I've got 5 PS1, so that's 39. I've got 12 PS2, sorry, PS3, so that's 51. I've got the box PS2, that's 52. I've got the PSP, that's 53, with its charger, but not forget that. And I have, I don't know whether I'm going to send this in actually. I might just sell that on eBay. It's not really, I don't know why I've put it in there. Sort of just must have got like randomly thrown in there, but yeah, I might sell it on eBay. Because there's not really much difference with price with that controller on Amazon and eBay, I believe. So yeah, that might go to eBay. Oh, I've got this. That's quite nice. The blue PS3 controller. So that's going in. So that means I've got like 53. And then finally, I've got a PS2 console there, which again I need to test. Oh, and then a PS2 pad there, but obviously that's going with it. So I've got 54 items, which isn't really that worthy of a shipment, but I just want one to go in, you know, just before Christmas. And if it goes in for Christmas, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Tom asked, I'm sat here putting a Lego architecture set together. Oh God, I've got a Lego architecture set over there, but the thing is with those sets, I feel like they're so complex to put together because the instruction manuals aren't as simple as like the Lego Star Wars ones or the Lego City ones. Because I think really they're made for the experienced builders, and I wouldn't class myself as an experienced builder, so you know, they are quite hard really. And I've only got the smallest one, the Lincoln Memorial. I couldn't imagine what one of them bigger ones are like. Steve says, I'm at work. Yeah, you're at work and you're watching this. You shouldn't be watching this at work. Oh my God. I hope it's your break. So I do actually have a little Santa hat out there for next week's episode. But I thought I'll leave that till next week because it's not really, you know, mega close to Christmas now. So next week it will be. So yeah, I've got me. Oh, I need those. I need a bag for those in a minute. I've got some parcels going out down there. What else do I need? Oh, I've got some. Show you these. I've got some cassette tapes going out there for Hermes. These were all the Now ones. I actually got some okay money for these. I think I got close to like 25 quid for these. So yeah, definitely worth picking up. I paid a tenner for a massive job lot, which included these. I sold the Now 9 cassette tape on its own for like 7 quid. These for 25, and then I've got a load of other ones that I think I've just slapped on auction, to be fair, and just see how we go. Because I made profit on these and then the other cassette tapes. So I just thought I'd see how they go. So yeah, that's those. And then I've got a console only PS2. Yes, another one. I sell bloody loads of PS2s. I don't know how much that's going out for, but it didn't include its wires. So it wouldn't be like a mega amount really. Even if it included its wires, I'd only be charging sort of like 25 to maybe 30 quid. Steve says, shh, round the back of a warehouse working. Oh, that's great. Better get back to work, speak soon. All right, thanks for popping in, Steve. So how many viewers have we got now? Let's have a look. I like looking at it. I like doing my little stat. Oh, 10 people watching. That's all right. I feel like a superstar here. Joe Scott, shout out. Oscar the Black Effort. I think you can. Oh, Joe Scott, can I have a shout out he put earlier on in chat? Yeah. Shout out to Joe Scott. There you go. So yeah, what else do I need to do? I'll be back in like a second. I just need to get some bags. I only need this one big bag. I just started Amazon FBA. where would I buy the delivery labels? Like the ones that go on. Well, like let me just take this as an example. Say this was your FBA box. You mean like the labels that go on it here, not your like product labels, like not the labels that go over your single barcode here on an item. Yeah, the ones on top of the parcel. Yeah, you can just type in on Amazon or on eBay, 1 per page labels or 2 per page, I suppose. Because if you had the 2 per, I don't use the 2 per page, but you'd probably be okay because it'd probably sit right. But yeah, I just use the 1 per page. I think I got like 200 for like £8 or £9. It was a really good price because these labels are normally expensive. I mean, I don't know whether I'd be cheaper going to maybe just a supermarket or somewhere, or just somewhere else, but online they seem to be quite expensive. But yeah, eBay or Amazon you'll get them from. I use them for my parcels as well. I used to use normal paper, and then I'd cut it up and then stick them on the parcels with sellotape. I've tried hundreds of different things with labels, parcels, Royal Mail options, got all that sort of stuff. And I'm finally in a position now where I like to be in. It's quick, it's simple. I use click and drop. I use the 1 per page labels. It just works for me. So anyway, I'm off on a tangent now. So yeah, the 1 per page labels. So I'm just going to shove a few of my parcels in this bag. I'm not going to put it on camera because obviously there's addresses on here. Right, there we go. The good thing is today I was packing up and I was really, really happy because I'd got like I'd got about 6 or 7 large letters and then 1 parcel, so it was really easy. I did 17 yesterday. I wrapped 17. That was not fun because I had 33 going out on Monday, and then I had 17 going out yesterday. Oh god, it was not fun. I am getting pretty tired of packaging parcels now. Who's that? Taz. How much does it cost to send to Amazon? If you send more boxes, is it cheaper? I've only ever sent like up to where it's been like £15 cost, and that was quite a lot. Basically 1 box of 15 kilograms is about £5. Sometimes you can get it like very, very slightly less than £5, and sometimes slightly over. Like for me, it's normally about £5.03, £5.04. Are you restricted from selling anything on FBA? Yeah, I am. Of course, I am. You have to get ungated in certain categories, and there's loads of things that are like starting to slowly restrict off. Like for some reason, I was scanning some Lego sets the other week, and I said this on a vlog, but basically I couldn't sell them, and I was like, why can't I sell these? So I don't even know. I didn't find out, but yeah, there's a lot of things like you've got health and personal care, I think it is. You've got just tons like food, like grocery products. You have to what it basically is getting ungated is you have to send to Amazon proof of your like suppliers, to say they're all legitimate and all that sort of stuff. I don't know the full process, but you have to have good, strong documentation of where you're getting your products from. And there is probably a bit more to it, but then you can get ungated in that category and then allowed to sell the products. But I'm quite happy in toys and games, video games. For me, that's fine on Amazon. I've been doing really well with them. So yeah, I mean, I might look to get ungated in the future, but I don't know. You need to sell 25 toys pre-October to be eligible. Yeah, I've sold way more than 25 toys pre-October because I've been doing it since Jan, so I've sold loads. I think you can do a collection from UPS. You've got to book but yeah, you do. That's exactly what you do. You go on the UPS UK website. I've got a video tutorial on FBA anyway. So there's loads of other people. You go on UPS UK and then you go down to schedule a collection, you type in your tracking numbers, which you get from Amazon, and they're basically found at the end of your shipment when you've like finalized your shipment. You put them in there, you put your address and details in, you put the times, you know, when you want them to collect, and it's pretty much as simple as that. Taz adds, is it Taz or Tez? I can't see whether that's an A. It's Taz, isn't it? Adds, what's your plans for 2017? I did, yeah, basically today's vlog, when it goes live, I do talk a little bit about that. So I won't really go into mega detail, and I didn't really go into mega detail on the vlog because I'd be talking your ear off for an hour. But it's basically, you know, continue what I'm doing, but just refine it. And I want to strip back the lower value stuff, and I just want to make my business a little bit stronger. And the real big thing was I had 33 parcels to pack on Monday. Well, I packed a few on Sunday. I packed quite a lot of them on Sunday, but I was getting very annoyed with the amount of time and effort I was spending packing parcels, when a lot of stuff, you know, some of this stuff was £8 to £10, some of it was £10 to £12, things like that. Obviously, there's a handful of items that are over £20, but I just really thought, you know what, enough is enough. So New Year, I'm changing up what I'm doing. Everything under a tenner is coming off eBay. I'm going to have a big sort out. I'm going to then bundle up those low value items, you know, in appropriate bundles, so that then they're then over a tenner. Then I'm going to list them all, so that then my bread and butter sales are no less than a tenner. So like £10 to £20 or £10 to £30. And then what I'm going to do is all video game bundles that I've got on eBay, all I'm going to do is increase the size of that bundle. So instead of selling 10 Nintendo DS games at a time, I'll be selling 20 or 30. So then I've automatically got a higher value item, and I only need to pack one item. Yes, it's slightly a larger lot, but at the end of the day, it's only one item. And that's what I'm going to do. And then obviously focus on single higher value items, like, for example, the Mega Man games I got the other day, and not just in the video game category, but loads of different things. Maybe antiques, certain antiques that are hot. I don't want to be selling antiques that are going to sit for months. I'm meaning antiques that are going to be flying off the shelf because there are things that people want in the houses. There are talking pieces. There are things that are going to really just go. We're going to get loads of watchers. Someone's going to buy them, and it's going to go where it deserves. So things like that, and loads of different other higher value toys and games and all that sort of stuff. With regards to Amazon FBA, I will be doing what I'm normally doing, but any sealed stock that is going to Amazon is getting held back until about October, no, yeah, or end of October, I would say. And I'm going to do a big shipment with all my sealed stuff that I've built up over the year, and that's going to go off. Sealed stock is the only thing I am going to not list. So everything else, when it comes in, it gets listed as soon as possible. I'm not going to have a backlog. The only backlog I have is the sealed stock. So that's what I'm going to do. Just higher value. Oh, I'm also going to upgrade my photo area. I'm going to put a white background in instead of the green and the wood background that I have. I did want white originally, but then I saw the green and I quite liked it. But now I'm thinking it's not great for certain items. So yeah, back to the white. I'm going to have some sort of like LED strip lighting or something. I don't know. I'm not really looked into that quite yet, but something around the edges. I'm not going to have those big massive lights. I'm going to try and avoid those just because of the space factor in that room. So yeah, I'll try and have some sort of battery operated lights, but something that's really powerful. But anyway, I'm rambling now. I'm just going off on a tangent. So but that's my plan. I could go into a lot more detail of I've really thought it out the last couple of days, and I know exactly what I'm doing. As soon as Jan hits, I'm gonna go mad. I want to get Christmas out of the way, the sales, I want to give things a chance to sell, and then sort of mid-January, I don't know, something like that. I'll start on this plan. It's going to be a big undertaking. My listings are going to go right down, probably from about 800, which they are now, to I would imagine around the 400 or 500. And then I'm going to build it up again, but I'm going to build it up the way it should be done. I'm not having all these like crap items just sat there, and you've got to be brutal with it, and that's what I'm doing now. And I have been like this in the past, but I don't feel as if I've been brutal enough with myself, and it needs to be done, because I want to be really doing some good numbers, and I want to be proving to myself and certain other people around me who aren't too keen on what I'm doing that I can do this and I can absolutely smash it out of the park. And I believe in myself, but it is mainly the other people around me, basically. And I don't listen to them, and I just focus on what I'm doing, and I will get there. But yeah, sometimes negativity breeds negativity, essentially. So you've got to stop it. I've not looked at the chat in a bit. Do you send everything to FBA, or do you check if they are faster? Yeah, I check, especially with the new long-term storage fees coming in. I check everything, go on Camel. Obviously, if I know rankings quite well now, so obviously I don't need to check Camel for every item. If it's something like a Nintendo Wii controller, which I've been selling the crap out of, or a video game that has a really good rank, I don't know, like PS2 console, I know I'm going to send it in, but a lot I do check. The hyperpicker ad, I know the feeling with smaller items. Yeah, it is. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing smaller items that are like really easy to pack, but what I found, I do a lot of Lego minifigs, and then it's the challenge of finding them, because I've got loads of containers, and yes, I could put things in my listing so it's easier to find them, and I should have done from the start. But yeah, it just seems to me that the finding them, just too much stress for me. I believe you can do it, as Les says. Thanks, Les. Oh, what is it? Who else has got a question? I saw another question. When sourcing products, do you scan everything or have a plan in place knowing what you will buy before going to car boots? No, I don't have a plan. I don't have a plan. I buy what's available. If you had a plan, like, this is what I learned straight off. A lot of the guys in the community last year, when I first started YouTube, were really hitting home that if you go into a car boot or charity shop with a narrow vision, like only looking for board games, only looking for this, then you're probably not going to find much. So immediately I started to try, and it was really hard at first, to broaden my horizons and sort of just go with the flow. What's there, I'll buy. Like now, like for example, those antique bird cages, I've got a ton of watches on them. They're a really good selling item. They're a hot item. And I just trusted my gut on that. And I just had a feeling that, they could be something good. And it's just about that, opening yourself up. Don't be scared to throw down £10, £20 or whatever. As long as you've got a good feeling about it, and you are 95% sure, I'm not bothered. What I'm trying to say is, in this game, you've got to understand that any money you throw down, no matter how sure of yourself that it's going to sell, you've got to accept that you might lose that money. So I'm not bothered. Like, I'll throw down £10, £20 an item if I'm really, really sure, because at the end of the day, I lose £10 or £20, and if I am that sure of it, I know I won't. It's kind of weird to explain, but I know I won't. But there's always that, you could do. Ads, maybe more auctions would help with larger price stuff this year. Yeah, I know. Yeah, auctions definitely. I've been trying to sort of find auctions near me. The annoying thing is, there was an auction. It was Northwich Auction House at Barnton, and that's literally 15 minutes from where I am, if that. And they've gone and moved to Wallington, which is perfectly fine. But what I wanted to do was buy like a good amount of stock, and I could probably just do 2 trips to Barnton because it's not that far. But then if I'm doing 2 trips to Warrington, which is like 30 minutes away or a little bit more, I don't know. But I could just buy small. And there's always like the delivery options and stuff. But yeah, I wish they had just stayed at Barnton. It would have been well good. I could have just gone back and got loads, but yeah, they moved to Warrington anyway. So I'm definitely looking at Warrington. I've looked on some of the websites, you know, the auction websites and that have got Warrington listed. And yeah, there's definitely potential for stuff there, even just generalist stuff, you know, not related to antiques or collectibles. But yeah, so it's one of those things that I'm really looking into. It's not the fact that I can't get stock. It's sort of the fact that I need to apply myself to getting that stock. So like you're saying, you know, trying auctions, trying this, trying that. It's not the fact that I'm struggling to get those higher value items. It's just the fact that I've got to go for it. I've got to hustle. And I've got to get, you know, got to be able to make myself get those higher value items. But yeah, I certainly would be looking into auctions. I'm sure there was another question higher up. Let me have a look. No, maybe not. Maybe it's just me. Tom says, I'm thinking similar to removing items below £10 because I think we are putting off what's that? Because I think people are put off spending £3 or £4 on P&P when the item is just £10. Yeah, I think that. Like, for example, I've got a few items listed for like £4.99 plus £2.99 P&P, and it's like the P&P almost exceeds the item cost. So people must be thinking, hang on a minute, do I want to spend X amount and then be charged almost the exact same amount for postage and packaging? I mean, for example, I've never done this, but I assume maybe some people have, you know, maybe not in our community, but maybe other communities, that you put an item on for £2.99 and then you're charging an extra £2.99 for P&P. And I wonder what customers would think of that. Like, would we be put off because, you know, like you're saying, the P&P is exactly the same as the item cost? So I don't know, but yeah, I don't like putting on items like for £4.99 plus P&P and all that sort of stuff. It just doesn't seem worth it. When I'm listing them as well, I'm thinking to myself in the background, should I really be doing this? And you know, the answer that I'm thinking is no. Mrs. H, come with me to the auction in Warrington. I went yesterday. I will take you. It is fab. Loads. I've got an invitation here. It is fab. Out in town now, but PM if you want to. You need to go to auctions, mate, and go with someone to discuss the items. It's good getting a second opinion whilst you're there. With it, yeah, because that's the other thing, really, isn't it? You can get caught up. You know, you get caught up in that auction fever, and if you've got someone there to discuss it with, to sort of lower that level of enthusiasm, that excitement that might blindside you, or is it blindside? I don't know. Blindside, one of them. Then yeah, it can. You can go into something and you can bid too high, at like everyone who's done auctions say, and that's that. You know, you've not made profit on it. But if you've got someone there, it's good to discuss. I know exactly what you're saying, Les. Ali, do you know the process of getting approval for a product like a toy as new? I just mentioned this. For getting a product like a toy as new on Amazon. Oh, as a new as a new Amazon reseller. I don't know. I mean, you should be able to sell toys anyway, like straight away on Amazon. I've not heard of anyone that could. Like when I started up FBA in January, I could sell toys straight away. I don't know whether it's changed now. But yeah, you should be able to. Maybe ask someone a bit more experienced. I don't know. Mrs. H, loads of stuff for £5 a box, loads and loads. Yeah, I know. It's like it's great getting the £5 boxes, but then again, I'm going back to my lower value stuff then, because in that £5 box, I know exactly what's in that £5 box because I used to work at an auction house. I used to create those £5 boxes, and it was utter tat. It was like things that had like made in China on the bottom of them, porcelain, pottery bits and bobs. And it's like, if I buy a box for £5, yes, I might be able to get what, like 25, 30 back. But I'm thinking, I'm just thinking, I could maybe flip it as a full lot. I could maybe flip it as like one box, £5 into £30. But if I'm taking all the bits out and individually looking at them and then pricing them up at less than a tenner, I don't want to be doing that. So maybe it would be worth it if I did, buy the lot and then sell it as a lot. And I know there's always, slight bits and bobs that the porters at the auction house miss, and they throw it in the lot, and they maybe just throw an item in the lot to attract people to it. So there's always ways that but you buy this £5 lot and you might get quite a bit of money out of it. But yeah, in one room and cheap stuff in another room, 2 auctions at the same time. Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about that. Yeah, when I was working at the auction house a while back, basically, we were all talking, because basically all the porters are always talking about the business, and there's a lot of like there's a lot of business. It's weird when you work in a business. Anyone who's had a job, you always talk about the business and how you can improve it, even though you're not the ones who make the final decision. But yeah, there was a lot of talk about other auction houses and what they were doing and all that sort of stuff. I heard that a lot about. There was this one auction house. It might have been Wallington we were talking about, that basically was doing they'll have the general auction one side of the building, antiques another side, and then when one auction is going, they'll be like either setting up the other one or clearing it out to then put more out. And that's a really efficient process, because obviously we've got 2 things going on. It's like having 2 tabs open on your computer, and I've never done this, but maybe you could list on both tabs and like flick them back into, or even have a tab open for eBay. And then what I'm doing at the moment, I've been doing competitions and things like that. So maybe having one tab open to list on eBay, one tab to do your competitions, and you can sort of do it that way, and it might be slightly more efficient. Ads, what? Oh, sorry, there was another question for that. Yeah, what's Q4? As Mrs. H says, it's just the last quarter of the year, October, November, and December. And there is a lot of buzz around it. I know Mrs. M, Caroline, talked about this. There's a lot of buzz around it, but don't expect to sell everything. Don't expect your sell-through rate to go through the roof or anything like that. For me, it's been good, and my sales have increased by a lot, but by no means is it like being everything sold, or there's so much stuff that's still sat on that's just tat. And the moral is, if it's not really, if it's not shifting after so long, and you've had like 4 or 5 Q4s and it's not really moving, then you just know you need to get it off. I mean, I've had 2 Q4s now. I've had over 18 months on eBay, and some of the stuff is actually from like almost 18 months ago, and it's still sat there. So they're the things in January and in next year I'm moving along and getting off, or rebundling or reassessing, all that sort of stuff. Ads, the hyper picker. I'm losing my voice here. What made you decide not to work in it anymore? Well, as I mentioned in my Thursday Talks, Thursday Talks episode 44, the anxiety hit quite bad, and that was a big factor in quitting my job. I did like it, but I always had, there was also like this little niggle in the back of my mind, but I always had that I didn't really fit in as well, and I always wanted to sort of, and I wouldn't say I really, really passionately wanted to leave, but I definitely didn't want to do it for any extended period of time. So I think in a weird way, getting the anxiety helped me quit the job. but yeah, I mean, that was a big factor in it. If I had the opportunity to go back now on a part-time basis or even on a full-time basis, would I say yes? Probably not, because I love reselling so much. Now, if they said to me, would you, be a customer of ours, be a big heavy hitter customer, or if I just went there and was a customer of theirs, I'd do that, and I'd talk to my old colleagues and have a bit of banter and all that sort of stuff. But I don't think I could work there. I think this is for me now, and I'm determined not to get a 9-to-5 job. So hopefully that determination to succeed at this will mean that I won't get a 9-to-5 job. I know it's a hard task, but the numbers the last few months are starting to show that I'm getting there. And if I can do what I've done this Q4, well, or almost do the numbers that I've done this Q4 in the slower months of next year, then I will know that my business is getting stronger and I can do this. But it's like Ken says, the true test of a business is in the slower months, not like your Q4 or your quicker months. If you can't do the numbers in your slower months, which, to be fair, your slower months are the majority, then how is your business going to sustain? So really focusing on next year, getting those listings up, but getting good higher value items up, and keeping me through the slow months, keeping me keep those numbers up through the slow months. And then next Q4, I basically this month I'm on to almost do very nearly £5,000 turnover. I've surpassed 3,000 at the moment. I'm on about 3,300 this month, and we're on the 15th. Now, obviously, by that logic, you double the 15th to get the 30th or the 31st, and you're on 6,600. But I don't think I'll quite get there because I had a weird spike in sales at the start of the month. So you can't really extrapolate the results like that. But I could probably get to £5,000. So next year, if I can do that, but obviously, this in Q4, I'd be doing like £8,000. If I could do like £8,000 turnover, and that'd be really, really good, because I'm on to do about 2,000 net, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but yeah. So about that 2K net. If I do £5,000, I think I'll be on roughly about 2,300. If I'm on, if I fall short of £5,000, I might be 1,800 to sort of 2,100. But yeah, I'm happy with that. It's, as I say, they're the numbers that are making me see potential in this, but I'm not getting too hyper about it, because I did when I had some good sales, I was very hyper, but now I've come back down to earth, and I feel now that I need to concentrate on getting my business stronger. That's the philosophy behind lowering the amount of lower value items on. And then if I can do like 4, 5, 6 grand in the slower months almost consistently next year, then that'll just prove to me that it's for me. I know it's for me. I know that reselling is for me, but it'll prove to me that, yes, I'm gonna kill this. I am really, really good at this. But at the moment, I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% confident in it, and it's because still I'm building it, and it's sort of like I'm growing as the business is growing. But one day, in the next few years, I'll get there, and I feel as if I am like a 100% awesome reseller, and I can do everyday tasks and more with pretty much some ease. But yeah, it's but in the situation, I've got to catch up on the chat now. I'd know what you mean about not quite fitting in. Yeah, I just don't know. I just didn't fit in. I just didn't quite fit in there. And now with this, I feel like I fit in, because I can just like walk into a charity shop, burst the doors open, leather trench coat on, image of confidence and sophistication, and just be like, yes, I've arrived. But like in my job, I couldn't do that. So, well, I could do that, but it'd look like really weird and odd. But you know, but that's the confidence. You have to have confidence in what you're doing. In this, I do. In my old job, I made mistakes. I wasn't as confident. I loved it, but I wasn't as confident. And with this, obviously I make a lot of mistakes with this, but it feels like I can get over that, and I'm much better now. I mean, when I first started, I was sending out wrong items and everything. I've not sent out a wrong item in like 7 or 8 months now. So, and all that is to do with is because I'm growing and adapting, and it's because I want to grow and I want to adapt at this that I do. So, and that's when your mistakes are limited because you're starting to get better and grow at it. God, I've got loads of. Have you any plans for a pension? I'll probably look at that when I'm like 25, 30. I think I'm only 20 now, so I should be all right. I mean, I'm focusing on putting away money for obviously my tax bill, you know, saving for a house, things like that. Especially after this Q4, I'm going to be putting away a bit of money in my savings to save up for either a mortgage. I would like a mortgage on a house because this is might annoy some people, but I don't really want to rent. I don't particularly like renting. To me, it's throwing away money. I know there's people who's going to completely disagree with that, and rightly so. And maybe I don't have enough information on it, but I want to buy. For example, I like paying someone £2 for that and knowing it's mine. Whereas if I don't want to pay someone £2 for that and have it for 30 days or whatever, and then I have to give it back, it's just my philosophy really. But so yeah, some money towards that. What else? So yeah, 25, 30. I think I don't think I need to be too worried about that yet. But I mean, if I can have like an all right pension and I can get by, then you know when I'm older, I'm happy. Like, who's this? Tom, if you grow in the way you hope, would you consider hiring somebody to help with everyday tasks? Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, my mum helps me a little bit at the moment. Obviously, you've seen her carrying the bags. She does help me a little bit with packaging, especially like when it's mega busy. And she's been fantastic for it. I've all the business decisions. I talk to her just as like a whisper, you know, like an ear, not an ear to whispering. I don't know what the saying is, but it's just nice to go through her. And obviously, when I get a girlfriend or a wife, everything will go through her as well. And my mum will be taken out of the business. But yeah, I mean, that's what I've really, the last few days with Q4, I've really thought, bloody hell, I need a girlfriend or a wife who does this with me, because it's so hard. I've been trying to replenish my listings. I've been doing Amazon. I've been doing it's getting to the point like, oh my God. And that was, again, like I was talking about before, the reason behind not doing the lower value items anymore, because it's just getting overwhelming. So I need to strip back a little bit, and I need to focus on less items, but just higher value. And I know I can do it. So, so yeah, I mean, would I ever hire someone though? That's a good question. There's a lot of paperwork involved. I know that from people who've talked about it and stuff. And I don't know. It's too early to say. I'd rather, you know what I'd rather do? I'd rather get a wife. And as I was saying, just hopefully she'll help me with it, or she'll, you know, and if she really wants to do it, then what I will do is make sure I trust her, obviously, but I should do because she's my wife. And then I'll just make her a partner and we'll be a partnership. And then I've got 2 people doing it, because don't forget, in a partnership as well, I wouldn't recommend this, but you're allowed, it's either 20 partners or 22 partners. So I don't know why this doesn't, well, I suppose I do know why this happens, because of fights and arguments. But instead of getting employees, what you can do, if you've got like 5 or 10 people you really trust with your life, I've got actually 3 people I trust with my life: my grandma, my best friend Daniel, and my mum. There are 3 people I trust with my life, no one else. And if you've got like 5 people you trust insanely well, get them as partners. Obviously, you're taking a little bit less of the business, but you've got 5 people involved in shoving that business right up there. And you don't have to pay them. Oh, they basically just get the profits, don't they? They get, like, if you've got 5 people, you'll get 20% each. But that could work if you were really, and it is. I don't recommend it because there's so many different factors with partnerships. There's like arguments, there's people can get violent, you know, and there's loads of different factors. But you know, you could do it, and then if you all had that real passion about the business and you're all so tight, then they've got an interest in making the business succeed because they're getting 20%, and you could get it up to a really high level. And that would make your 20% enough to basically feed your family and that, because you're all working on the business together and making it grow like to that mega high place. So yeah, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. We got taught in business in college, like, you know, you can have like 20 partners and that, and I was saying, well, this is what I said to the tutor, you know, well, why do people employ people? Why don't you just get a load of partners? And she was telling me, you know, that basically, you know, you got your arguments, you got all these other factors. So I think the best partnership that could happen, if any, would be your actual partner, your spouse. So and that would be the only thing I would probably consider. Yeah, I mean, even like best friends, unless they were like lifelong friends and I trusted them with like loads, and also they were as passionate at the business as I was, then I might consider it. But yeah, anyway, I'm rambling now, so I'll let you go in a minute. Has anyone got any more questions? I must have been going for bloody 40 minutes. I've got to get on with work as well. It's so addictive just to you know, just watch the chat and just have a ramble. Employees are a hell of a lot cheaper than a wife. Yeah, you may be right, man. Yeah, a lot of presents, a lot of remembering as well, and a lot of effort as well. I mean, wives and husbands. I'm not being sexist there. I mean, we can be as bad as wives. Well, I'm not a husband yet, but when I am a husband, I imagine I'll be as much work as my wife. I'll probably forget all the dates I'm meant to remember, all the birthdays, all the anniversaries, all that sort of stuff. I'll just be terrible. But yeah, so I can't see how many are watching on here. I wonder, let's have a look. Oh, and there are 10 viewers again, so I imagine it's 10 same people. Yeah, so I don't know what else to say. I'm going to get on, well, I'm going to go down post office because it's now 10 to 12. Better do that. I'm ahead of myself today. You'll see in today's vlog that I was behind yesterday. Loads, like really behind. So today I'm a little bit ahead of myself, but I've got a hell of a lot of work to do, so I have got to get on with it, really. Well, you've entertained me for a bit, almost finished the Lego set. Oh, that's all right. Which one did you say? Is Empire State Building, was it? I forgot. But didn't even do what? Yeah, which one is it? I don't know. I've completely forgot. Tom, wow, good going. Yeah, as I say, those what we call architecture sets, they are pretty hard to do as well. So yeah, I'll leave it there. I'll take my bag downstairs. I've got everything laid out. I know what I'm doing. I've got the PS3 tested. I've got the PS1 to test. Oh, that was it. I'll just be back. I'll be 1 second. I better not forget to test these guys, these Mega Man games. So I'll test them with the PS1. And these aren't going to Amazon, as I've said. They're going on eBay. But I want to get them on tonight. I can't even speak. I would ideally like to get a bit of a quicker turnover on them. Not particularly like price them, like really undervalue them, but just price them to sell. Because then I can make a good profit, turn it over, and yeah, they can go to their new owners, whoever they will be. Imperial Hotel. Oh, is that the like the red one? Am I right? Is it the Chinese red one? Like the Chinese building? I don't know. We did one similar like that. I probably might be off, but yeah. I don't think I've got too much to do to it. I think I'm over exaggerating how much I've got to do. Who's this? I don't even know that number. I'm gonna leave it. I'll ring them back later on or something. Yeah, I think I might be over exaggerating how much I've got to do. Although saying that, I've got. No, I don't think I've got mega amounts. I mean, the biggest thing is just going to be changing over all the consoles because we've got PS2 to test, then I've got to change the console over to the other PS2. Then I've got to get the PS1 out. And I always find testing PS1 stuff slower. Don't know why that is, but I always do. Tokyo, Japan. Right. So I will leave it there, guys. I will see you in another video. I'll see you in the vlog tonight. And next week I'll probably do Thursday Talks live again. Oh, what day are we? Yeah, 22nd. Next week is the Christmas special of Thursday Talks. So episode 52, the Christmas special. That means episode 52. That means we've been doing it 52 weeks. That is so cool. Well, it'll be a bit more than that because I've missed out a few weeks, but yeah, like 52 weeks. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I will see you for that. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. And yeah, have a good day. Get a lot done. Hopefully I'll get a lot done. I will try and vlog throughout the day, but I always forget. And yeah, thanks for watching and see you very soon. Let's see how we do this now.